I know she will bring to the demands of her new role the steadfast devotion to duty on which I have come to rely so much. Real life families, and you know the actually what's going on in the community, and it must be really challenging for you." All eyes were on Princess Catherine as she made a breathtaking entrance at the royal state dinner, dazzling the world in a glittering couture gown paired with the late Queen's legendary 85 million necklace. The moment instantly became one of the most talked about royal appearances in years, blending timeless grace with modern elegance. Guests and cameras were left speechless as Catherine embodied the essence of royalty itself. So, what was the deeper meaning behind her bold fashion choice? Today, we reveal the story behind this unforgettable royal moment. A royal evening that captured the world's attention. London shimmered softly beneath the evening sky, its historic streets and landmarks glowing with a golden warmth that signaled a night of great significance. Within the walls of Buckingham Palace, preparations were in full motion for a state dinner that carried both diplomatic importance and cultural heritage. The event honored Crown Prince Hassan of Jordan and his wife Princess Raja, symbolizing the long-standing relationship between the United Kingdom and the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, a friendship shaped through years of mutual respect, shared history, and thoughtful cooperation. Inside the palace, the atmosphere was one of polished sophistication. Opulent chandeliers hung like galaxies of crystal droplets, casting soft light across the gilded ceilings and marble floors. Silverware gleamed under the glow, perfectly aligned across tables draped in rich embroidered fabrics. Tapestries that had witnessed centuries of royal gatherings watched quietly from the walls while exquisite floral arrangements, hand-selected to reflect both nations, added delicate fragrance to the evening air. Every detail was intentional, every placement purposeful. Yet, despite the breathtaking decor and the presence of esteemed dignitaries, there was an unspoken anticipation that something memorable was about to unfold. Guests murmured, exchanging greetings and polite conversation. Unaware that the night was moments away from capturing the world's attention, they expected elegance, diplomacy, and celebration. What they did not expect was a defining moment in modern royal history, one centered on a single presence. Then the atmosphere shifted. A quiet hush fell, cameras lifted, and Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, entered the grand hall. She moved with a natural grace that needed no announcement. Her gown, a flowing shade of silver, appeared almost alive under the golden light, as if woven from moonlight itself. Every gentle step caused the fabric to ripple and glimmer, capturing all eyes without effort, but it was the necklace resting upon her collarbone that truly stilled the room. This was no ordinary piece of royal jewelry. It was a historic diamond necklace once treasured by Queen Elizabeth Roman II, an heirloom carrying decades of memories, state occasions, and silent symbolism. By wearing it, Catherine did more than complete her ensemble. She paid tribute. She acknowledged the legacy of a queen who defined an era. She reminded the world that the story of the monarchy continues, not as something frozen in the past, but as something living, evolving, and gracefully passed from one generation to the next. The world reacted instantly. Cameras flashed, and within moments, images of Catherine flooded social media, news outlets, and fashion platforms across the globe. Admirers hailed her as effortlessly regal, the living embodiment of timeless elegance and a flawless symbol of modern royalty, capturing not just her beauty, but her poise, influence, and the quiet power she carried. In that instant, Catherine became more than a princess. She became a global standard of grace and sophistication. With a single graceful entrance, she conveyed diplomacy, respect, honor, and subtle strength, demonstrating that true influence can be felt and understood without a single spoken word. The state dinner continued with speeches and warm gestures of friendship between nations. But for many around the world, the defining memory of the evening was already sealed. It was the moment Catherine stepped forward. not just as Princess of Wales, but as a living bridge between history and the future. Catherine's necklace didn't just shine. It gently reminded the world of Queen Elizabeth Roman II's lasting presence and influence. But what are the moments, values, and achievements that will keep the late Queen remembered for generations to come? Now, let's explore the unforgettable legacy of Queen Elizabeth Roman II, a reign that shaped an era. When Queen Elizabeth Roman II became monarch in 1952, she was only 25, a young woman stepping into a role that would shape history for over 70 years. Her reign began in a world still recovering from Eudetam or II. As nations rebuilt and the monarchy's relevance faced questions, yet through decades of change, she grew into more than a sovereign. She became a steady symbol of continuity, duty, and quiet strength, guiding her nation with calm resolve. A heartland of the Industrial Revolution, but now a place to address climate change, and earning the admiration of people worldwide for her unwavering dedication and grace in an ever-evolving world. Queen Elizabeth Roman II's reign did not just last long, it reshaped history. She outlived and surpassed all monarchs before her, from ancient kings to celebrated Victorian rulers, becoming the longest-serving sovereign Britain has ever known. For millions worldwide, she was not a distant figure from textbooks, but a familiar presence throughout their lives. Through wars, cultural shifts, and global change, she remained steady in a world that constantly moved and transformed. She stood as a symbol of continuity, duty, and quiet strength. Though she upheld traditions, Queen Elizabeth Roman II also recognized that the monarchy could not remain frozen in time. Under her guidance, the royal family gradually evolved. She embraced new forms of communication, allowing cameras into palaces and balancing royal formality with quiet openness. She navigated the rise of television, global news, and later the age of the Internet, ensuring the monarchy remained relevant and understood by each new generation. In 2011, Queen Elizabeth undertook a historic visit to the Republic of Ireland, the first by a British monarch in a century. This was far more than a ceremonial trip. It was a profound act of reconciliation, acknowledging a long, complicated, shared history with grace and respect. Her presence symbolized healing, courage, and diplomacy, bridging decades of tension between the two nations. Widely praised, the visit demonstrated her unique ability to combine authority with empathy, leaving a lasting impression of humanity, understanding, and hope for stronger, more harmonious future relations. Throughout her life, the Queen delivered speeches that became emotional anchors in difficult times. Whether addressing global tragedies, national mourning, or moments of uncertainty, her words were measured, comforting, and filled with sincerity. Her Christmas broadcasts in particular became a cherished tradition for millions, offering reflection and hope at the close of each year. Across the globe, she played a unique diplomatic role. She welcomed leaders, hosted state visits, and traveled to hundreds of countries. Sometimes as a symbol of history, other times as a calming presence amid political tension. Her experience, perspective, and steadiness made her one of the most recognized and respected figures in international affairs. Queen Elizabeth Roman II's legacy extended far beyond the palace walls. One of her most lasting impacts came from her unwavering dedication to charitable work. She served as patron to over 600 organizations supporting health care, education, wildlife protection, and community uplift. Her presence alone drew attention, funding, and encouragement, giving struggling groups a voice and renewed strength. Through this quiet service, she touched lives across generations, leaving compassion at the heart of her reign. Her reign was not merely long. It was meaningful, a life of service carried with grace, a legacy that continues to echo. The Queen's legacy remains unforgettable. But did she pass on the secret behind her grace and success? And to whom did she entrust this wisdom? What relationship exists between them? Now, Let's uncover the secret mentorship that shaped the future queen. A queen's quiet legacy. According to those close to the royal household, Princess Catherine and Queen Elizabeth Roman II shared a bond that was quietly meaningful, respectful, and built over time, not simply because of titles, but because of genuine warmth and mutual admiration. Their connection deepened significantly when Catherine and Prince William moved from Anamere Hall in Norfolk to Kensington Palace, placing them just a short walk from Buckingham Palace, where Queen carried out much of her work and daily routine. Living nearby allowed their interactions to shift from occasional formal engagements to more frequent natural moments of connection. What had once been polite, royal visits slowly became regular companionship. As one insider explained, the two women often found time to sit together, sometimes sharing afternoon tea in private, enjoying simple conversation, laughter, and the quiet comfort that comes from trusting company. These meetings were described as warm, relaxed, and often surprisingly personal. Catherine's calm and thoughtful demeanour resonated deeply with the Queen, who valued loyalty, discretion, and emotional steadiness more than any outward display of charm. However, not every meeting was informal or light-hearted. There were also occasions set aside for serious, focused guidance, what one source referred to as intense one-on-one training. During these sessions, the Queen would speak candidly to Catherine about the responsibilities that come with being not just a royal, but a future queen consort. These were conversations steeped in decades of lived experience, lessons learned from global tours, moments of national crisis, private family challenges, public expectations, and the delicate balance required to carry the crown with both strength and grace. The Queen shared insights on everything from managing diplomatic interactions to understanding protocol so deeply that it could be carried out with ease. She spoke of composure in difficult times, of the importance of never allowing personal emotions to overshadow duty, and of treating every individual from world leaders to palace staff with equal respect. They discussed how to build trust with the public, not through grand gestures, but through consistency, stability, and humility. For Catherine, these discussions were invaluable. They shaped not only how she presents herself, but how she understands her role in the royal family. She listened closely, not as a student fulfilling a requirement, but as someone who recognized the significance of the wisdom being passed down. And the Queen saw in Catherine someone who did not simply wear the crown, but someone who would carry it carefully, thoughtfully, and with heart. Their bond grew into something far deeper than simply being family. It became a quiet transfer of wisdom, responsibility, and royal identity. Queen Elizabeth didn't just guide Catherine on etiquette and titles. She shaped her understanding of what it means to carry a legacy with dignity. Their relationship was an ongoing lesson in duty, compassion, and steadiness. The Queen was not only shaping a future queen. She was preparing Catherine to continue a story centuries in the making. It was in its own quiet way one of the most meaningful relationships within the modern monarchy. Catherine was personally guided by Queen Elizabeth, learning not just royal protocol, but the quiet strength and grace required to lead. But did those lessons truly shape her? And how did her presence speak louder than words, reaching far beyond that royal hall? Now, let's dive into how elegance became diplomacy. Princess Catherine and the soft power that captivated nations. Although the official purpose of the evening was to honor the long-standing friendship between the United Kingdom and the Hashite Kingdom of Jordan, something deeper unfolded in the room. Something that could not be found in speeches, handshakes, or formal toasts. While diplomats discussed policy and history, and while cameras documented the ceremonial elements of the state dinner, Princess Catherine became the silent diplomat, the one who conveyed meaning without needing to utter a single word. Her presence alone seemed to carry an unspoken message of unity, respect, and cultural understanding. Catherine did not seek the center of attention, yet the room naturally aligned around her. Her posture was steady and composed, her steps measured, her interactions gentle and attentive. When she greeted guests, she did so with genuine warmth. Her smiles were not hurried. Her eye contact was sincere, and her conversation seemed to slow the pace of the evening, giving each person she spoke with a moment that felt personal rather than ceremonial. Observers later described this as soft power, a kind of influence that does not rely on titles or spoken authority. Instead, it is shaped through grace, symbolism, and presence. It is the art of representing tradition and dignity simply by being. Catherine has cultivated this ability quietly over the years, maturing from a young duchess learning royal life into a Princess of Wales who understands the delicate weight of her role in the world's eye. Her gown, her jewels, even the way she carried herself were deliberate. Nothing was simply decoration. Every detail spoke a message, honoring the past while quietly shaping the future. Fashion historians remarked on the return of her signature style, modest, polished, timeless, and free of excess. It is a style that bridges cultures because it does not shout. It whispers. It respects space, respects tradition, and respects the viewer. It does not attempt to impress. It simply is. And that effortless confidence has made her not just admired, but beloved across nations and generations. Cultural observers pointed out that Catherine's presence revealed a rare power, the ability to captivate without force or noise. In a world that often values the loudest voice and the biggest display, she embodied something slower, gentler, and deeply steady. Her calm confidence drew attention more effectively than any dramatic gesture could. She showed that real influence is not always about being seen the most, but about being felt the most. Through quiet grace, patience, and thoughtful restraint, royal historians took it even further. They explained that the evening revealed a truth often forgotten in discussions about the modern monarchy. Its meaning does not exist in ceremonies alone. Rather, it lives through the individuals who carry its legacy. The crown's symbolism endures not because of tradition by itself, but because certain figures embody that tradition with authenticity and grace. And on this night, Catherine revealed that the monarchy's relevance, its emotional connection to the public, still rests in the people who wear its history with humility. She did not speak on behalf of the monarchy. She was the message, a message of continuity, a message of dignity, and a message of quiet, enduring strength. Princess Catherine sends a message without speaking. Her presence, dedication, and consistency say more than words ever could. But how did her journey into this role truly begin? And who recognized her as the one worthy of carrying this responsibility forward? Let's find out. A new reign begins. In one of his first and most defining public messages as the newly crowned monarch, King Charles Roman III addressed the nation with words that signaled both continuity and transformation within the royal family. During this historic speech, he formally bestowed the highly respected and deeply symbolic titles of Prince and Princess of Wales upon his eldest son, Prince William, and William's wife, Catherine, known warmly to the public as Kate Middleton. This moment marked not only a ceremonial shift, but also a new chapter in the story of the monarchy's future. Before this elevation, the couple held the titles of Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, which the world had come to associate with their grace, their steady commitment to royal duties, and their down-to-earth approach to public life. Now they also inherit the titles of Duke and Duchess of Cornwall, positions previously held by King Charles and his wife, Queen Camilla. The title of Duke of Cornwall carries with it large responsibilities. Most significantly, oversight of the Duch of Cornwall, an extensive land and financial estate designed to support the heir to the throne. In his speech, King Charles spoke with both pride and emotion as he passed this significant responsibility to his son. As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles which have meant so much to me. He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades. He said for 50 years King Charles oversaw the Dutch with patience, vision, and steady commitment, transforming it into a successful and dependable institution. When he finally passed this responsibility to William, it was not just paperwork or ceremony. It was a meaningful moment. It signaled trust, continuity, and the quiet transfer of wisdom from father to son. It marked the beginning of William's gradual preparation for the greater role that awaits him in the future. But the king didn't stop there. With equal emphasis, he acknowledged Catherine's vital presence in this new stage. Known for her warmth, calm conviction, and ability to connect genuinely with people from all walks of life, Catherine is regarded by many as one of the monarchy's strongest modern figures. King Charles expressed confidence that with Catherine at William's side, the future of the Prince and Princess of Wales is one of gentle leadership and meaningful influence. He suggested that together they will guide national discussions in ways that don't just highlight major issues, but bring often overlooked people and communities into focus. Their role, he implied, is to ensure that those who stand at society's edges are seen, heard, and supported with real care. These words were more than praise. They were a clear recognition of the role William and Catherine are now expected to play, not simply as symbolic figures, but as compassionate guides and active contributors to public life. Their mission, as described by the king, is to elevate those who feel unseen, unheard, or overlooked, and to represent the unity and stability the nation seeks, especially during times of change. This moment marks a new era, one where William and Catherine are not only future monarchs, but present leaders shaping the emotional and social heart of the kingdom. King Charles entrusted the future of the monarchy to William and Catherine. But has Catherine lived up to this responsibility? What actions show she is truly prepared for the role she now carries? Now, let's uncover how Princess Catherine became the silent architect of emotional well-being and social change, shaping the future from the first breath. Over the last decade, Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has devoted herself to understanding one of the most impactful yet often overlooked areas of human development, the earliest years of life. Through countless visits to schools, community centers, shelters, hospitals, and support networks, she has witnessed a powerful truth. Many of the biggest social challenges we face today do not begin in adulthood. They begin in childhood. The first 5 years, she often explains, are not just a stage of life. They are the foundation upon which everything else is built. Princess Catherine has seen again and again how experiences in those early years can shape the way a person thinks, feels, and interacts with the world. She has spoken with parents struggling under enormous pressures, children facing emotional challenges, and adults who carry wounds from childhood that were never fully healed. She has also listened to experts, psychologists, doctors, teachers, and community leaders, many of whom agree on one thing: early support can change everything. In her own words, Catherine has said that she has seen how experiences such as homelessness, addiction, and poor mental health are often rooted in a difficult childhood. These struggles do not suddenly appear from nowhere. They are often the result of emotional needs that were never met, support that was never given, or environments that were unstable or unsafe. Yet, she has also seen hope. How strong, loving relationships, positive guidance, and stable early environments can protect a child's well-being and help them build confidence, resilience, and emotional strength for the rest of their lives. The early years can hurt, but they can also heal. Catherine's growing awareness of emotional well-being inspired her to step forward in a powerful new way. In 2017, she joined Prince William and Prince Harry to launch the Heads Together campaign, a bold initiative that challenged long-standing silence around mental health. Rather than allowing struggles to remain hidden in shame or whispered behind closed doors, The campaign encouraged people of all ages and backgrounds to speak openly, seek support, and recognize that mental health is just as important as physical health. It began shifting a nationwide conversation toward empathy, honesty, and healing. Together at the Three Royals brought together 8 major mental health organizations, including Mind, Calm Young Minds, the Mix Place to Be, Best Beginnings, Contact, and the Anna Freud Center. Their goal was simple but powerful: to challenge stigma, make support easier to find, and ensure that people felt safe asking for help. Heads Together was not just a campaign. It started a movement, one that continues to influence public conversations today. Beyond her public role, Princess Catherine also directs her charitable efforts through the Royal Foundation, which she shares with Prince William. The Foundation's mission is not just to give aid. It is to build change that lasts. It works by forming strong partnerships with organizations that already have proven success, then bringing leaders, experts, communities, and businesses together to expand their impact. Their approach is grounded in serious research and long-term planning, ensuring that progress is measurable, meaningful, and sustainable. Through this work, Catherine has positioned herself as more than a figure of elegance. She is a determined advocate, shaping the future, one child, one family, and one community at a time. She is reshaping the monarchy not with loud declarations, but with quiet strength and intentional grace. Yet, what does this silent transformation mean for the future of the crown itself? Now, let's explore the night. Princess Catherine B became the living bridge of the monarchy where past met future. As the evening unfolded and elegant conversations moved effortlessly across the long glittering banquet table, something subtle yet unmistakable began to take shape. The night, originally planned as a gathering of diplomacy, history, and cultural respect, slowly shifted in tone. Those seated in the grand hall, royal dignitaries, international guests, ambassadors, and longtime palace observers, found themselves witnessing a moment that went beyond ceremony. Without a single announcement, without a speech or formal declaration, it became clear Princess Catherine was not just attending this event. She was the moment everyone would remember. The palace itself assisted in painting this vision. The soft golden glow of the chandeliers poured over her silver gown, creating the illusion that she carried her own gentle light. The fabric shimmered with every graceful step she took, like moonlight rippling across a calm lake. It was elegant, refined, and intentional. The gown did not shout. It whispered. It didn't overpower the setting. It quietly elevated it. This was a masterclass in balance. Confidence without arrogance, beauty without demand. Yet the true centerpiece rested just above her heart. The historic diamond necklace once worn by Queen Elizabeth Roman II. To many, it was simply a stunning jewel of incomparable craftsmanship. But to those who understood royal symbolism, it spoke volumes. This necklace was history itself, passed down through queens, representing continuity, endurance, and the unbroken thread of monarchy. By wearing it, Catherine was not only honoring the late queen, she was acknowledging the responsibility she now carries to preserve the legacy while guiding it gently toward the future. Throughout the evening, Catherine's presence remained steady and serene. She did not seek to dominate conversations or draw attention deliberately. Instead, she listened with genuine interest. When she spoke, it was with warmth and clarity. Her laughter, soft, sincere, never exaggerated, carried an authenticity that made those around her feel seen, not merely entertained. Her posture was relaxed yet assured. There was no need for performance. She was confident in who she was and in the role she continues to grow into. This is what caught the world's breath. It wasn't simply her appearance. It was the message beneath it. This was modern royalty at work. Quiet influence, emotional intelligence, and leadership expressed without force. Catherine demonstrated that the future of the monarchy does not depend on spectacle or relentless tradition alone. It lives in the ability to make history feel human and relatable. Fashion experts later praised her gown as unforgettable, while cultural voices described her presence as a powerful moment that reshaped how the modern monarchy is seen. Historians recognized the symbolism, noting it felt like a graceful handover from one chapter of royal history to the next. Yet those who were actually there did not need titles or explanations. They felt it in the room, an unspoken shift, a quiet certainty that something meaningful had just taken place. It was grace, steady, dignified, and utterly natural. The evening intended to highlight diplomatic unity between nations became something deeper. It became a portrait of how royalty can remain meaningful, inspiring and quietly powerful in a world that often misunderstands its purpose. Princess Catherine did not merely attend a state dinner. She stepped into a living narrative, becoming the bridge between memory and tomorrow, and she reminded the world of a timeless truth. The most profound statements are not always spoken. Sometimes they are shown through presence, humility, and the kind of grace that leaves an unforgettable mark long after the evening has ended. So what do you think of Catherine wearing the Queen's necklace? Could it be a sign of her rising role? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe